Hello and welcome to another episode of the Roach Koach podcast, the journey to create the new metal canon. My name is Lauren Kozlowski. With me, as always, the original Roach Rider, Mr. Matt Nas.
Keep it rolling, baby.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, back with you, back for another episode of Roach Koach, creating this new metal canon, one album at a time. This week, it is all about who's tweeting.
Who's tweeting?
That's right, we're going over feedback, questions, Roach emendations, so much more. To start things off, Matt, we've been teasing it. They've been teasing it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
finally been announced. Louisville Loves Nu-Metal Part 2
Ooh, the
coming
sequel.
back. That's right. July 20th, 2024 at Headliners Music Hall in beautiful Louisville, Kentucky. I can tell you that one Josh Toomey will be on that stage.
What?
Yes. That's right. I'm going to be able to be in the audience and I'm going to be finally to see Josh Toomey in his true form, rocking faces. Heard about it, seen clips, videos, but to be in the room when he walks up there, somebody hands him that bass and he goes, my old friend, the
My old
bass.
friend, the low-end Thunder Broom.
That's right. And he starts strumming to whatever wonderful new metal classic they got him learning right now. You know, right now, if you're texting Josh Toomey, he's not answering because he's too
He's
busy.
rehearsing.
He's figuring it out. If you are like, why isn't Josh texting me back? It's because he's working on rippers, okay?
Yeah, too busy. Too busy with rippers.
Too busy with rippers, all right? That's why. Wait till after July 20th, then he'll talk to you again.
That's right.
If you're in the Louisville area, get them ticks. I'm going to be there.
Ooh, get them ticks.
Get them ticks. I'm going to be there. And I also found out they're flying in friend of the show, Holiday Kirk. He's coming back. He's coming back. He's going to be there.
CEO of Nu Metal?
The CEO of Nu Metal. And then myself, the self-proclaimed dean of Nu Metal. Lots of Nu Metal luminaries will be working the room. We're going to be all around.
You no longer have to say that you're the self-proclaimed because I will proclaim it all day for you.
Thank you,
as
Matt.
needed.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So July 20th, Louisville, Kentucky. And I mean, this is just days before the Roach Koach Meetup 2024 in Detroit, Michigan. Pine Knob, Limp Bizkit, Loserville. I'm gonna be at that too. And Jenny's gonna be at that. Mitch is gonna be at that. And Matt, you're gonna be in that.
That's correct.
And Catherine's gonna be in it.
My wife will be there.
Your wife will be there. This is unbelievable. And also Limp Bizkit's gonna be there. What more reason do you need? These are now 2 locations in which you can see me in person. If this is something you would like to do.
Buddy,
Yes.
I am excited about it. I'm going to say that it doesn't look great for me to come to Loserville. Excuse me. Louisville Loves Nu-Metal. I'm going to make the effort to come down because I believe that is going to be an excellent evening and super fun. And it would be great to go to a show with you. Last show that we went together, Poppy? Is that true?
I think that's true. I think it was Poppy all the way back in January or
Of
February of
2020?
2020. Yeah, I mean 2020. I mean, just we didn't even know how good we had it.
We were babies.
We were. We went out to eat. We missed all the openers.
Yep.
Afterwards, we went to Travis Pelto's bachelor party.
Very interesting times.
Yeah, I mean, at the now defunct Embrew.
Wild
times. The before times, as they're called by some people online on the internet. So head on over to wherever you get tickets, and you can either get tickets to Loserville, tickets to Louisville Loves Nu-Metal. Either way, get there. I'm gonna be at both. Matt might be at both. He's definitely gonna be at one.
I will definitely be at Loserville in Detroit.
There it is. There you go. Detroit issue. We don't need to get deep into them locations.
Detroit metro area.
Exactly. Absolutely. What else is going on, Matt, is that episode 4 of the Pact is live on the Patreon.
It is. It is. It is.
We failed to mention that on our last Who's Tweeting episode, which went up the same day
Yeah, the
as the
15th.
episode. It was
Yep.
a double. It was a double shot of Coach on that.
Double whammy.
That's right. So you can head on over. You can listen to us and our very good friend Maggie O'Reilly of the Vulnerability Podcast talk all through uh, Dashboard Confessional. And what I can tell you, Matt, is doing the research for the Pact.
Mm-hmm.
One of the very interesting things I've learned is just about all of these bands have taken the cue from Taylor Swift and gone back and re-recorded their albums. In some cases, even saying, "This is our version now." And
The first time I saw this in a non-Taylor Swift scenario
yeah,
was MXPX.
wow,
MXPX re-recorded Life in General, and I didn't know why. And it was like, oh, that's why.
yeah. I'm just finding more and more bands are doing this now. Incubus just did it with Morning View. They've re-recorded the whole album. I actually was texting with friend of the show, former guest, and ultimate Incubus super fan, Tim K.
That's right.
And I asked him, I said, "How do you feel about the re-recordings?" And he said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that he thinks they're great because now they're playing it the way they've been playing them in concert for the last
Oh,
20 years. And so he's, a big bus head. So he's been seeing
yeah.
these performances live for years. So for him, it's like going home. It's like, yeah, these are how my boys have been doing it.
That's interesting. That's a really nuanced take because normally people are just like at live shows, there's a lot of, hey, play it like you do on the album. But the bus, they're like, we're going to play these the way we want to play them. And then we're going to re-record them the way we've always wanted to play them.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting move.
It is. It
What do you
is.
think about that move?
Well, for me, I mean, I've been disparaging this entire, re-recording thing and knowing full well that eventually it would come home to roost and I would have to deal with it on a personal level. And indeed, this year is the 20th anniversary of Death from Above 1979's You're a Woman, I'm a Machine. And so they have been releasing a re-recorded version of every song on the album every month. I believe there's 11 songs in the album. They started in February. They're just putting a song out every month. And I can say that and they're doing it in order of the album. And while I mean it's Death from Above, I love them. It rips, but at the same time, it's like you can't
Yeah.
like
Here's the interesting
yeah.
thing. I get what you're saying here. Is like there is a visceralness that youth has
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that is hard to recapture 20 years later of like you can hear the desperation of like, well, this is let's go. I really don't care what happens after this. We've got to make this happen, guys.
It's interesting. It's not bad, and some of them I think are more interesting takes than others. But it is another situation though where I'm like, at the end of this year, I'm gonna have a different version of an album I've already been listening to, you know, so much that it's like ingrained in me, and it's a little bit like looking in a funhouse mirror. That's really
Mm.
how it feels. Like they're like, oh yeah, I recognize this, but it's a little twisted, a little different.
Ooh, it's a little twisted.
Um, so yeah. So anyway, that's a long way to go around to say subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Roach Koach podcast. And here
I
is
am before we close the Patreon door,
yeah.
recently, as very recently, like as of 15 minutes before we started recording, I was going through old messages because I am trying to declutter myself from things that have been left undone by me.
Mhm.
So I owe a few Roach Koach apologies.
Oh.
Yeah, this is you are unplanned for this. So one of them I believe I've made right eventually, but Josiah Russell back in the day asked me for stickers, and I was like, sure. And I don't think I ever sent those stickers, but then he ordered a shirt, and I'm pretty sure they got in there. So that is taken care of. Um, I was asked by longtime listener that I haven't heard of in a very long time. And I'll see if I can get that name, but don't even worry about it because he asked me for advice on podcasting. And I said, sure, let me get back to you after I get home from work. He's still waiting for me to get back from
I
work.
was gonna say, Matt, you haven't worked in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Uh,
so I'm very sorry about that one. That's not a good move by me. So I'm incredibly sorry about that. And
uh,
forever ago, I
yeah.
promised the Patreon that I was going to give away that West Borland box, and I still have it. So I'm going to make it right.
Okay.
And you know how I'm going to make it right, buddy?
How you gonna make it right?
We are going to do another live stream.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. When's this one happening, Matt?
Let's do it June 6th. You know,
June
I like a
6th.
live stream the first Thursday of the month for Patreon.
There it is.
That feels right.
June 6th. It's gonna be a hot night. What time, Matt?
10 o'clock Eastern.
10 o'clock Eastern time.
But
So
don't you worry. If you can't watch, I'll still notify you. But I'm trying to be better and just clear the karmic cache, as it were,
mhm.
for loose ends and threads that I have out there. So if I have promised you something that has not been delivered, or you needed the answer to like how to do something, hit me
Mhm.
back up, and I'm going to try to make sure that you get what you need from me. And if
All
you are
right.
disappointed by what I have left undone, I understand that. Please forgive me. I am sorry. But if you've moved on, I understand that too.
Wow. Matt Nas is gonna make things right this summer,
That's
baby.
right.
That's right. Everyone else, they're going to the beach. Matt Nas, he's just gonna make it right.
Making it right.
Making it right. Matt, this is the perfect segue to talk about who's in those DMs.
Sliding up in.
We got a DM. We got a bunch of DMs from Garbage Stock Art over on Instagram.
Love garbage star card.
They sent us.
Oh my God. I have given up on pronunciation this episode. Garbage stock art. I enjoy their page.
There you go. They sent us an image, and it said "Orgy and Cold sold out 7 p.m." And I said, "Things are getting serious here." They said, "Good for the boys. There's some sexy new metal vampires in the crowd tonight." Like, oh, okay. They sent us a clip of some performance from Cold. Cold sounded sharp. They sounded in the zone, and they sent us this report. They were amazing. I was a hater, but the Cold live experience has made me a believer. Orgy sounded great too. I don't know if Jay Gordon was on a lot of coke or if that's just how he is, but I hope I look and move that good when I'm his age, fucking 57. They played,
Whoa.
yeah, they played Slept So Long from Queen of the Damned, and the place went crazy. New metal continues to be back.
Wow.
Amazing. I love to hear it. I love to hear reports from boots on the ground at these shows. Keep them coming. I love to hear about it. I also love to hear if you're repping the Roach at these shows. Let us
Please.
know. Take a pic. And Matt, you bring up the stickers. People are always asking about stickers.
I'm
Um,
out. I am out of
Matt's out of sticks,
stickers.
so we got to get new sticks. We got to re up the
We got
sticks.
to re up the sticks. Jenny always loved a die cut. So
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have to figure that out. I've
We'll have to get some sticks going.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe is this something we can talk to Mitch about? Probably.
We'll talk to him, and if he tells us to go where I know to go, then that's what we'll do.
Perfect. 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 Matt, we got a DM from Ill Shot.
I love this. Illshot comes through with a link to a song in Spotify and just straight up, yo.
That's all we needed.
That's
That's
all
all
we
we
need.
need. All we needed.
That seems like I don't even need to edit this out of YouTube. That's a blessing to play a song if I've ever heard one.
Yeah. So when you go to it, they sent us to the Ill Shot Spotify page in which there are 5 songs for their most popular, all from their 2009 album, The Dirty Filthy Truth.
Mm.
And I figured we'd go with we'd go with the top rated one, Matt.
I think so. I think this is Behind Her Eyes by Ill Shot. And I see you. I see you, Ill Shot.
Matt, I got
Buddy.
one thing to tell you, buddy. When that chorus hit, all I could think was, get the tables. Listen, this
Get the tables.
get the tables. All right, you put this on, and then you put it next to the ring so that the guy that's in the headlock can just flip him right
Straight
over,
suplex
right
into the
over,
tables.
right into those tables, right into those tables. This is prime
This,
grappling music.
this is prime grappling music.
I hear this, and all I think is somebody is about to put somebody in a figure four leg lock. Someone is,
Somebody's about to get speared.
that's right. Someone is about to say, top rope, glad to go there. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, let me introduce you to my good friend, the turnbuckle. That is what I hear when I hear this song.
Oh, ring ding ding. It's me, the turnbuckle.
Oh, you got here just in time. Let me
From my
introduce you
face.
to that's it. Illshot, thank you for doing the damn thing. Illshot also have a record from 2022 called From Here to the Cosmos. Which is
Do we need to see if they've changed styles?
You know what? I mean, that's a long 2009 to 2022.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, a lot can change. A lot can change in that time.
There is one of their songs from that album in the top 5.
Oh, okay. Is it the title track?
It is From Here to the Cosmos.
All right.
Driver's seat up in the dirty, filthy truth, up and down the street, Kentucky up, y'all. That's what's up, y'all. We stand tall while the rest all fall. Yeah, much to our haters envious dismay. We got the Wu-Tang Clan on the ill resume. We rock big spots. Where it's hot, if it's not, then we're not gonna drop any bombs. So just stop. From here to the cosmos. From here to the cosmos. From here to the cosmos.
I mean, if you need entrance music because you could hit it, boom, sparks. What are we talking about here, buddy?
Listen, if you are part of any of the wrestling scene, AEW, WWE, FTC, RHM, I don't know. Any of these could be real acronyms. I could just be making them up, but I'm just saying these boys are ready to intro your wrestlers. All right. All right. You got Ricky the Wild Man. Have him come out to this one. All right. You got the Brutalizer. He can come out to one of these songs. All I know is get your cell phone out and dial 1-800-TABLES because you're gonna need them.
Need them.
Gonna need those tables.
Are you in the new promotion? Oh, the older promotion that Billy Corgan just bought? I think that's NWA that he just bought. Break out them tables.
Get them tables. Listen, get them out there so you can throw some people through them to some Illshot songs. So Illshot, thank you so much for sending that over to us. Much appreciated. We got a long DM from Chris Freeman.
Yes,
who
we
said,
did.
My dearest Roach Koach. I've been thinking
way
about
to begin to let us know, like, hey,
hey.
This is serious.
Mm-hmm.
Perk your ears.
That's right. My dearest Roach Koach, I've been thinking about this for a while. In fact, I hesitate to suggest this album. The last time I checked, it doesn't even have the nu-metal tag on Wikipedia. But I think it's high time to take a look at Fear Factory's 2004 album, Archetype. Rather than let Wikipedia do the talking, I think I can state my case why this belongs in the show. I've never read this anywhere, but I feel strongly that the album is a spiritual successor to Obsolete. The snare-heavy intro, Slave Labor, is Shock's cool little brother. Cyber Waste echoes Edge Crusher, and there are many other moments I feel would only serve to elevate the canon. The only reason I feel it's excluded from the discussion is its 2004 release date. If you've yet to check it out, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I ran out of steam. I'm writing this while standing in a Taco Bell. LOL, but trust me, it'll have Matt powerbombing your guests through a table in a good way. Chris, thank you so much. And also, apparently, we're getting the tables for you, Matt.
I know. Get the tables.
Get the
Dudley
tables.
boying it up over here.
Wow. Okay. I can say that post I can't even think what that last Fear Factory record was, but
which one did we do? Yeah, I'll look it up while you
since we've done that one, I mean, I kind of had figured we'd done all of their nu metal stuff. We'd covered everything. I know there's the record they made with Ross that was released later. But for the most part, I thought we'd hit kind of, Fear Factory's nu metal touchstones. This is the first I'm hearing that, we got to dip back into the boys. Now, I will say that what I do recall hearing is that a lot of the post gosh, it's gonna kill me. I got it. The Digimortal.
Yeah, Digimortal, I think, is the last one that we did, because we did Obsolete.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we did Digimortal.
That's right. So after that, and I mean, even when you go to the Fear Factory Wikipedia, it says Obsolete 1998 to 2000, and then it says Digimortal and Demise 2001 to 2002. So, and then it says First Return and Archetype. And I recall someone telling me, or maybe just from what I was reading, that the stuff after Digimortal gets a little wild. Some of it they say didn't get recorded right, and people are unhappy with it, and they'd rather no one heard it. So looking this one up,
we definitely listen. We never listened to Archetype.
Absolutely not. It's produced by Rice Fulber, though. So there you go. And something called Rock Hard Magazine gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
They gave it 3/4 mast.
Listen, Matt, you know how it is. You get up at the beginning of the day and you take a shower and you sit down, you eat some breakfast. And then your wife says, "Where are you going today?" And you go, "Well, where I go every day, at my job, at Rock Hard Magazine." So
I do feel like their rating, they missed the opportunity to be like, this one's very flaccid. This one's
listen, not everybody can steal the rating system from Hustler Magazine. You got to find
that is true.
Thing. So true. So different scales. So Chris, thank you so much for writing us from the Taco Bell. Much appreciated, and we'll think on it. Matt, we got a message from Brian Mills.
Love it. Brian writes, I realize I'm super late to this conversation, but do you remember Future Leaders of the World? They had 2 songs that got a decent amount of radio play, Kill Pop and Let Me Out. Like Puddle of Mud, they were post-grunge band that was more Nirvana than Pearl Jam. I remember not hating them. High praise.
High praise when you say, oh, I didn't hate that. You know what? If somebody recommends something to you and then they come back and ask your opinion, always got to him with a, I didn't hate that. That warms the soul.
Well, I did find Kill Pop by Future Leaders of the World, but did you have a recollection of them? I do not.
None whatsoever, Matt. Don't know them.
Well, let's see what it sounds like. Here we go.
Thanks for watching this episode of Roach Koach on YouTube. Unfortunately, we do not play the music here on YouTube because we want to avoid those sweet, sweet copyright strikes. But you can check out in the description. We have the links to the podcast itself, which includes all the clips from the music that we hear. And back to the show.
I got to say, it's not for me. It's from 2004, which feels incredibly come down to me if it's trying to even get into that thing. Very bouncy though. Kind of like one of those songs that you hear in the background of a movie, and it's like, oh, it works for this part of the movie.
Matt, that was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
There it is. Okay. I was like, what the fuck did you
Listen, I was bouncing around while thinking, can't get any worse than this, right? Can't get any worse than this.
Then somehow it kept going.
It got a little worse, you know, and I was thinking back to you know, it felt like something where there's somebody was like, you know, it's like we won't commit to being ska and we won't commit to being pop punk. And instead, it's funny is that really these guys should have been called Puddle of Mud because that's what this is. This is a murky bottom. You look in it, you're like, if I step in that, it's going to ruin my shoes.
Buddy, if you would have told me that this is made up of old members of Sublime, I would believe you. I would believe you.
If you had told me that this was made up of guys who used to drive past the rehearsal space where members of Sublime used to hang out, I would believe that as well. I would say,
You would have told me
yeah, Matt.
that in the same building that Sublime rehearsed, Len also was rehearsing, and someone walked by across the street and heard that. They were like, I know what this is.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to say it honestly. Their name, Future Leaders of the World, it's apt. Because if you ever go to, like, if you were in college and you ever went to like a student government thing and you met the guys there and the gals there that were like serious about being future leaders of the world, this is the musical equivalent of what those people are like. Let me tell you that. All right. As someone who briefly did some time in student government in college, I can tell you, not my scene, not my vibe,
Not my people.
not my people. No, not at all. Brian, thank you so much for sending us this. It is terrible, and that's okay. Chad Radical.
Simply not for us.
Simply not for us. Really, I would argue probably not for anybody, but that's okay.
You know.
Chad Radical sent us a list.
Love a list.
Love a list over on Loudwire. The 10 most insane nu metal feuds of all time. Of all time, Matt. Of all
That's a great list.
And I was so smart in sending you this that I did not
Oh, don't worry, baby. I've got you.
if you've got that. Oh, wait, I've got it here. I've got the link up here. All right, here we go. The 10 most insane nu metal feuds. And this is written by John Hill. Thank you, John, for your service. To start off, Mudvayne versus Slipknot.
Yep.
We know this. We know this one
We've
very
all
well.
heard this one.
We've all heard it. We get it. We understand it. Second one, Eminem versus Fred Durst.
Okay.
This one, we haven't dove into this.
I don't know if we've ever talked about this beef.
I don't think we ever have. I think we had thought we knew something about it when we did one of the Limp Bizkit episodes, but I know we never really dove into it. So according to this, Eminem and Fred Durst became heated because Durst got involved in the feud with Everlast.
Yes.
Limp Bizkit was going to join Eminem on a diss track against Everlast, but at the last minute, they decided to bow out due to, quote, a toothache. Weeks later, DJ Lethal appeared on MTV saying that although he thought Eminem was a superior rapper, Everlast would win in a fight, which made Eminem go directly after them in the song Girls. Limp Bizkit never retaliated, and Durst maintained his fandom of M. I do not know this song, Girls.
What?
By Eminem?
Yeah. You've never heard this song.
I've not, of course, no.
What?
No.
Oh my, how have I heard this song?
What album?
Multiple.
What album?
Dude, this was peak LimeWire. This is peak Napster.
I was at peak LimeWire, peak Napster. I was not downloading Eminem.
How could you? How could you? I'm so disappointed in you in
You
this
gonna make,
moment.
are you gonna make me listen to an Eminem
Yes,
song
of
right
course
now?
I am.
Unbelievable.
Oh my gosh. Eminem, girls, come on. It's so PC. It's brilliant. Here we go.
Matt, I've never heard this before in my life.
Dude, M goes fucking in on these guys.
I've never heard this. I've never heard this before in my life.
It's,
Is
I
this
mean,
on an album?
no, well, I think it was on like a secret track on D12's Devil's Night, I want to say.
Oh,
Maybe.
wow. Well, I mean, what I can say is based on what I've heard, sounds about right for Eminem.
Yep.
And because he was like, listen, I'm gonna go in. He's got all his guys together. He's like, listen, I'm so mad at Limp Bizkit. I'm so pissed. And he's like, I'm gonna write the sickest thing. I'm gonna say the worst shit you've ever heard about him. And they said, what type of beat you want, Em? And he's like, oh, it's gotta sound like a tinker toy falling down a staircase in slow motion. It's gotta suck ass. And they were like, are you sure you don't want something hard as hell? No, tinker toy. That's what I like. I want that little tinkly noise. That's gonna set
I
'em-
truly wish
set 'em
that
off.
Eminem was a better beat selector. Yes, I will always
Could
agree
you
with that.
imagine if Eminem picked good beats? You ever see that thing where they talk about like the future liberals one? They show like that sci-fi image, that meme. That's what I think about. What if Eminem picked good beats? It's like, oh my lord, 9/11 wouldn't have happened. Like,
It is my favorite thing between the beef between Tyler and the creator and Eminem. It's like Tyler just going, yeah, he's great. He just picks the fucking worst beat.
he does. I mean, he's right now he's hyping up some new record. I'm like, there's just gonna be so many fucking dirges on that shit. It's gonna be the
Well,
worst.
it's
gonna be the worst.
I'm an Eminem fan, but like, yeah, this is like peak Eminem fandom for me too. Like, this is right around Marshall Mathers LP. This is like peak Eminem, where he could do a 5.5 minute diss track about Limp Bizkit.
5.5 minutes. 5.5.
Perfection.
The reason the article says that Limp Bizkit never responded. Yeah, they never responded because they never made it to the end of the song. They were like 5.5 minutes. 5.5 minutes. We don't have time for this. None of us do. And they just hit stop. They said, we're just going to keep moving. We're not going to think about this. And neither will anyone else because it stinks. So, moving on this list. Now, I got to.
You never heard that before.
Never heard it before. And I'm going to be honest, not missing a thing.
Agree to disagree.
Up next, Aaron Lewis versus Wes Borland.
This is probably my favorite beef of all, just because how little Wes cares about Batman.
Now, what's interesting is that in this list, it does not cite. It says Limp Bizkit guitarist Wes Borland in 2017 recounted running into Aaron Lewis at an airport, where Lewis chastised Borland for referring to LA as home instead of their shared home state of Florida. Borland then said, "Fuck you, man," to Lewis, and when recounting the story, said, "I wish nothing but the worst for him." Lewis responded by dogging him while recounting how he wrote outside at a show. Now, the thing about this article is that it doesn't mention that
Talk to me.
Wes said this on Josh Toomey's show, Talk to Me. Don't bury the lead, okay? There's a reason that Wes doesn't talk to anybody anymore, and it's because of this. Because Josh Toomey just let him rock. He just let him rock. That's why Toomey's one of the best. He get him in the chair, and Toomey's just like, talk to me.
I hit record, and he wasn't interested in stopping.
That's right. That's right. So this is good. This is a good one on the list. Next up, we've talked about this. Slipknot versus Burger King.
Classic
bit. This is one that we found out very recently. Seven Dust versus Cold Chamber.
Yes.
And
it's a real wife fight, right?
That's right. According to this, though, Lejean has reflected and said, "We grew up, man. It was just a page in our lives." Fair enough. Fair enough. Nine Inch Nails versus Limp Bizkit. This one basically comes down to them incorporating
Starfuckers.
This it starts with Starfuckers and then them incorporating closer lyrics into Hot Dog. which Trent Reznor never responded to, instead just taking a writing credit and earning royalties from it. That's the way to do it. Now this is an interesting one. David Silvera versus Korn. And basically saying, that he, they've gone back and forth about him not being in the band. And him saying that, he left with the assumption that he could return at any time. But instead, they brought in Ray, and Silvera, quote, decided to go scorched earth on the band. He called Fieldy a cowardly little bitch and told his fans to flood the band's social media pages to demand he rejoin the band after Head returned. And then later in 2015, he sued Korn for unpaid earnings from his ownership share in the band, which was settled out of court by Korn.
Yep.
I got to tell you, when you are in a band and you are touring around the country, you really want to get a guy in with you that you haven't seen in over a decade who recently called one of your bandmates a cowardly little bitch. You said, get him back in here.
Right.
Let's get those vibes in here. Let's get those vibes.
I need that.
Let's
animosity.
get that in there. Oh man, let's get it. Let's make every show tense and uncomfortable for everybody.
Right. Especially since Head is rejoining. That like perfect vibe.
Let's just make it just like real suck. Just
and no shit, this got settled outside of court. We looked at the legal document. Yep, we owe you money. We're not going to win here. We're going to lose more going through this. So here you go. And to get that, here's the new thing you have to sign, and goodbye.
Absolutely. Up next, Machine Gun Kelly versus Corey Taylor.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Listen,
I've forgotten about this so hard.
Not even going to read the details of this. All you know is I agree with Corey Taylor. Whatever he said, whatever he said. Machine Gun Kelly, put him in a toilet, flush him down the toilet. We don't need that guy. Get him out of here. Sublime with Rome versus Linkin Park. Okay, this is news to me. Let's see what we got here. In 2014, Sublime with Rome's Rome Ramirez hit Linkin Park with maybe one of the greatest disses ever, calling them Linkin NARC.
Oh, world class. Got him.
Incredible. Got him. It happened after Ramirez accused the band of calling the cops on Sublime for having marijuana with them at an Arizona festival and getting their stash seized. Mike Shinoda would later reply to the accusations, saying calling the police is definitely not my style, and that him and the band were doing a meet and greet while Sublime were on stage. You think that Mike Shinoda doesn't get high? You think Mike Shinoda isn't smoking up a blunt? You think Mike Shinoda isn't the king of reefer? Mike Shinoda?
Well, like when you say it like that, yeah, I don't think he is.
That's the point that I'm making. 100% he called the cops on you, and I'm sorry. I hate to side with Sublime, but yeah. Listen, Sublime with
what
Rome.
A day.
They're not going to throw around Linkin NARC willy-nilly, all right? They had to have, listen, that cop had to show up and said, listen, we got a call, and we could tell the guy on the other line was calling us, but he had headphones over the receiver, so he couldn't hear us back. Either way, and he was like, oh, I know who that is, fucking Delson. It was Delson. Yeah, so, I have to, God, for the first time in my life, I have to side with Sublime.
I'm so sorry, Lauren.
Incredible. Now this is interesting, Matt. The final one here is Slipknot versus Limp Bizkit. In which initially started when Fred Durst said Slipknot fans are a bunch of fat, ugly kids. And then Corey Taylor said, I'm a fat, ugly kid, and Slipknot fans, for the most part, enjoy all kinds of music like Limp Bizkit, maybe. So you're basically saying is that your fans are fat, ugly kids too? You want to talk shit on the people you care about? We will come there and we will kill you.
Classic.
Now, Matt, over the weekend,
I saw this.
Sonic Temple happened.
Yes.
Limp Bizkit were performing. They were crushing. Check the tapes. I'm right.
Dude, they are on point.
They're on point. At one point, Sid Wilson comes out and is spinning. And then Corey Taylor comes out and joins Fred Durst on stage. They buried the hatchet. This can only mean one of two things, man. Slipknot Limp Bizkit tour or Fred Durst feature on the next Slipknot record. Or neither. But fingers crossed for one of them. Fingers crossed.
I figured it out, but I didn't think that it was Corey that joined. I know that it was Sid for sure, but I thought it was a fan that was dressed up like Corey.
My understanding.
So I'm on the PRP right now.
Okay. What's the PRP? Are they about to debunk me?
They are. You're about to get doxxed.
Oh, no. Well, dox is worse than getting debunked, Matt.
That's true. I don't know what I was going for. Definitely debunked. Yes. Limp Bizkit welcomed Sid Wilson and a fan on stage at this year's Sonic Temple. There was some Slipknot action. This is posted by Wookabus. Yeah.
Wookabus. Thank you, Wookabus.
There was some Slipknot action present amid the set by Nu-Metal stars Limp Bizkit during yesterday, May 19th, closing date of the annual Sonic Temple. The latter group invited Slipknot turntablist Sid Wilson on stage for some turntable tag teaming with Bizkit's DJ Lethal. The Limp Bizkit track, Turn It Up Bitch, served as the bass for that. Limp Bizkit were the penultimate band. The above pairing wasn't the only moment, as Fred Durst later brought up a fan dressed as Corey Taylor from Slipknot to do full Nelson.
Ooh.
Yep. But I have to say, great cosplay. Strong Corey Taylor.
Had me fooled.
Outfit.
Had me fooled. Well, thank you everybody for sending that our way. And then the final thing, this is something that was not on the initial list, Matt, is that since we talked about Nothing More on a recent show, a band that all I really knew about them is they did not wear a shirt and they do not wear socks or shoes. That's what I knew about the lead singer. I was told, guys, they got a song out. They got a new album coming out. I was like, sure, this makes sense. That's why they're touring. It's with Draiman. And I said, get out of the way.
What?
Get out of the way. Show me this song. This song is called Angel Song.
Oh, boy.
And Matt, I sent you the music video, which I haven't watched. I've only listened to the song, but I got it. But I know Draiman's in the video, so I feel like let's take a taste.
All right, I'm gonna have to set this up, so give me a moment.
All right. I'm loving David here. Clearly couldn't be bothered to be there the same day as the rest of the video was filmed.
Clearly.
Also, the lead singer of Nothing More, he's got a shirt on. He's got these tassel-y outfit. We have some sort of storyline with a woman in like what looks like pioneer times,
Yep.
But we also have a robot that's on fire that she's kind of dealing with as well. David, though, tight black tee, looks comfortable. Is it a Hanes situation? David, what's the story on that? I can tell you that if you are somebody who is as unfamiliar with Nothing More as I am, and you decided that you were going to check out the other songs that are from their new album, I just want to let you know this is the best of the bunch. Okay, it's the other songs I heard, not great.
Not for me.
Not great. But bringing David in, decided to do a David Draiman imitation at the beginning.
Bold move, Cotton.
Bold move. It was funny to hear this, and I was like, oh man, I haven't really been into more current Disturbed stuff. And then I heard Draiman on like somebody else's song, and I'm just like, oh, he's great. He's back. Dude's back. New Disturbed album. Let's go. Let's get this going. Oh, that's funny. Every time I'm out, Draiman's like,
he sucks you back in.
I'm bring you back in. I'm gonna bring you back in.
But I know that this was the last thing that we had before we got to a little feedback.
Mm-hmm.
But we mentioned the knot last time on Who's Tweeting.
Yeah.
And since then, I have watched a few of those concerts that you mentioned.
Mhm.
Can we talk about Eloy for a second?
Let's talk about Eloy. Let's talk about it.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Like, because I was just like, oh, yeah, totally. They're back. It totally seems like they're back. And then I watched the Heretic Anthem. And it's one of the most recent festivals that Slipknot did. And he's truly driving the song. And like, all of them are like, he does a fill and they all just look at the drum set. And it's so weird because like I never thought Weinberg was a bad drummer at all. You know, I would not say anything disparaging about him.
Right.
With Eloy behind the kit, it is a different vibe. It is insane. Like they are all looking at him and it's just like he's got them juiced.
That's what you need. Listen, sometimes you just got to bring a new guy in to just light a little fire and get you going.
The
You know?
craziest thing is 4 years ago, he did a drumming technique thing where he's like, I'm just going to play the Heretic Anthem by Slipknot. And he just, you know, like it's one of those drumming videos. It's like, it's not my song, but I really like playing it. It's real fun. And he just does it. And like the comments were just like, little did you know this was your audition tape.
Say, sometimes you have to make your own destiny. And that means playing the Heretic Anthem 100 million times until you can play it as good as Joey could. Then that's just what it takes, you know? Because listen, at the end of the day, all these guys in Joey's shadow. They all got to compete with that boy. So we're excited. Apparently, new song Eminent, new album Eminent.
Yeah.
The Knot are back. They're doing it.
I mean, like that show that I saw, like the energy was up.
It's up.
Way up.
That's what you
now
want.
It's festivals, so it's not like doing a big tour and it's like night 72 and they're still that amped. But like for a festival, they were peak.
Well, think about this though, at a festival, Matt. Okay. If you're seeing Slipknot at a festival, it's not 3 p.m. It's not 5 p.m. It's like 9 p.m. All
Correct.
right. That means you've been there the whole day. You've sat through some openers.
Oh, yeah.
Sat through some closers.
Sure did.
You've gone to the porta potties a couple times. Maybe you got some nachos. Maybe you got some super pretzels. You know, maybe you've even considered leaving early. Heaven forbid. You've considered it, but you know, you got to post up because the Knot are coming, and then they come out and they energize you, the tired person who's been considering, if we leave now, we could be back by, and suddenly you are devil horns in the air, losing your mind. You're about to crowd surf for the first time and you've never crowd surfed in your life because you're feeling the energy of the Knot coming at you because they're back, baby. They've never been better. Eloy's got them sticks. Corey's throat's never been stronger. They've got brand new barrels and brand new bats. It's time for the Knot, baby.
So when are we seeing them?
Well, I'm seeing them in August. That's what I'm seeing.
That's a pretty good time.
That's
We're
right.
gonna have a pretty good time. I have one more thing to say about this. One of the last shows that we had, we played some Body Snatcher. We played King of the Rats. Didn't realize that song was 2 years old.
Oh,
there's new Body Snatcher out within the last few weeks.
Oh,
and also Body Snatcher has shown up now because I played King of the Rats and I've listened to the new song, which is brutal. But I watched them do a live set at the Blue Ridge Fest from 2023, which by everybody's comments was an absolute fucking shit show.
Yes.
Dangerous and awful. But they didn't help.
Oh no? No?
Body Snatcher.
No, they didn't. They weren't
Was not interested in helping on the safety front. because
boy.
right before a breakdown, the lead singer goes, "Send him to the medic tent," which is fucking insane. Body Snatcher, I will not be in the pit for your shows, but your ethos is very clear.
Very clear, and that ethos is you're
Bludgeon, I believe.
you're gonna get brutalized. You're gonna
Yep.
get brutalized. Matt, there is only one way to close out an episode of Roach Koach,
Sure is.
and that is with Chad Radical's Rippers for Roaches.
Rippers for Roaches. Rip it up.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I like that, Matt.
And that's new.
Oh, Matt. So we've been getting some interesting songs on this list. Really taking us some different directions. This week we are listening to a band called Dreadlock Pussy.
It's crazy. The name of this song is called Choke. Chad Radical. Troublemaker extraordinaire. I love it. Let's listen. First things
Matt,
first. Yeah, buddy.
Matt. I went to the Dreadlock Pussies to Spotify page just to see if they might have some pictures of the boys in the band.
Yep.
And it did answer the question, because I was listening to this and I was like, this sounds like a band with too many people in it. And I know we were just talking about Slipknot, and everyone's like, Lauren, there's a lot of guys in Slipknot. Yeah,
like 9 of them.
Yeah, they all have jobs. We all know what they do, and it's set up perfectly. If anyone leaves, here's the thing. If anyone leaves Slipknot, okay,
they replace them.
They replace them, and no one thinks, oh, they're not going to replace that guy who did whatever. We don't know what he did. No, they replace every single one because they're a crucial element to the Slipknot sound. Listening to this song by Dreadlock Pussy, I'm looking at this picture now of the band.
You're looking at 6 dudes.
6 dudes who a couple of them have the facial expression of, I probably shouldn't be here. I'm probably not needed here.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to this, I am hearing what sounds like 2 DJs. There's just so much scratching that I'm like, there's probably 2 DJs. Scrap one of them. And honestly, the drums, get rid of them. I don't know. I know a band needs a drummer, but I would say get rid of these drums.
So number 1, they're from the Netherlands.
Okay.
Number 2, this album came out in 2000. But there's the classic internet joke of like, did they record this on a potato? That really applies here. This is like first gen digital recording. This is real rough. That sounded really bad.
It sounded tough, but I think it just doesn't help that you've got just so many people there jockeying for position, trying to figure out what they're doing. And sometimes
I will say this though.
Yeah, man.
You know what I love about it?
Mm-hmm.
Fastly approaching 8 years doing this show. Never heard of this band before. Never heard of, and they are doing the damn thing.
Yeah, they're definitely doing the damn thing.
I don't love it, but it's like, I don't know anything anymore.
Well, Matt, here's the thing. You will never forget their name. Dreadlock.
True.
You will never forget their name. And, I just say that I hope that they all figured out what they were really supposed to be doing. I don't know if it was this, but I would say that, just go through and get economical. You know what I mean? Get out the books and break it down and see who really needs to be here. Really, and maybe that person that is saying it's them. They need to go, be truthful, realize what's in front of you. And that is that there are too many people in Dreadlock Pussy, because listen to that song. It is noises jockeying for space, and there isn't enough space for it. There is not enough space. Not enough. But thank you, Chad Radical, for sending us that. I will never forget it. Neither will Matt. I can't get over it. I can't get over it.
It's a wild one.
It's a wild one. But that does mean, Matt, that just brings us to the end of another episode of Roach Koach.
Crazy how that happens.
It is. Keep on saying hello to us online. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Roach Koach, and all those. Send us an email, roachkoachpodcast@gmail.com. And if you're saying, hey, I just got into the show, I want to listen to those super old apps that people yell at you guys about. Every single episode of Roach Koach can be found at roachkoach.com.
You can even download them.
You can
Put them
download
in
them.
your own player.
That's right. Put them in your real player. If you've
Yeah,
got one
get
of
it
those.
in Winamp. I mean,
Oh
that's-
man, put it in a Winamp and listen to these old apps from 2017, and see what we were talking about
Just
that was making people
babies.
so mad. Oh yeah, we are infants on those episodes. But you can find every single one of them right there. And of course, join the Patreon, patreon.com/Roach Koach podcast. And until next time, Matt, thank you.
Lauren, thank you.
Roach
Riders
and
Indigo
Indigo Angels. Thank you. All right.
Right. Bye.
Roach Koach.
Podcast.
Hot all day. Every day. It's the Roach Koach.
Podcast.
All day.